Hello everyone, this is Phoenix here, and today we're going to be doing a room tour video today, and it's actually been like pretty much almost a full year since my last one, and things have changed quite a bit, even though I'm sure you have noticed throughout some of my videos maybe, but who knows. But either way, this is going to be a full room tour video, and I really do hope you enjoy this. Thanks you for watching and commenting. Alright, so we're recording the game room right now, and oh fuck, there's a lot of glare from that light. And yeah, so this is like the overview of it. Yeah, I don't know what I did that for, but anyways. So here's a table. Yeah, just a table, nothing more. Then over here, we're gonna start from this tiny shelf here, where we have Teddy, who is looking at us right now. I got that from the Persona 4 Arena Ultimax. I had nowhere to put it, so I thought here was a good spot. So down here, this is pretty much like the Sega shelf, where all like the Sega games are. And then first there's like Aladdin, Battletoads and Double Dragon, Chacon, Echo the Dolphin, Forgotten Worlds, Jurassic Park, Last Battle, Shinobi, and Vectorman. Then down here you have Battletoads, the regular one. Then there's Beyond Oasis, Decap Attack, and then this backwards label over here is something that really surprised me. It's actually Moonwalker, but the label's backwards, and I have heard from someone that this game is apparently very expensive, this exact version. I don't know why is that, but either if that's true or not, it's just interesting to know. Then there's Phantasy Star 3, unfortunately I don't have 2 or 4. Then there's the Shadowrun, forgot about that one. And then there's the 2 Sonic games. I don't have them in the box, but whatever, I have them. Then there's the Master System games. Nothing new here, unfortunately. Haven't really found anything new. In fact, I don't even have the system yet, so that's another reason why I haven't been able to get any. But yes, I have eSWAT and Moonwalker in the box. So yeah, I have like 2 versions of Moonwalker, which is weird. And then the only thing interesting here is Ys. It's actually the first Ys game on the Master System. I actually own it. But still, it's a very uncommon game. That's actually pretty fucking cool. Then down here we have more Sega stuff, like there's the Sega Saturn, like Bust-A-Move 3, D, Fighters Megamix, Night Warriors, Panzer Dragoon 2. I'm trying to get the other 2, but I know one's going to be impossible to get. Then there's one Sega Saturn game right here, and that is Virtua Fighter. Then down over here there is Alone in the Dark, Blue Stinger, up for the Dreamcast, and then Resident Evil 3, Sonic Adventure, Soul Calibur, and Street Fighter 3rd Strike. And then we have the 2 random Atari 2600 games, like this is Time Warp in the box, and then this one right here is Laser Volley, which I found randomly, and they're still in their boxes, and they have their manuals and everything, which is pretty cool, but unfortunately I don't have the system to play them yet, but we'll get there eventually. Then down here we just have 2 swords, haven't hung them up yet, but we'll get there eventually. And yep, that's the one shelf here. Then over here we pretty much have like the Nintendo shelf, and plus like PS1 and Xbox and 3DO. Yeah, it's kind of a mess right now. Actually, no, it's not that bad. So first we have my original Nintendo system. Then there's the thing that holds NES games. I tried using this in my shelf for a little bit, but it didn't really work, so I just have it up there for whatever reason. And then we have the Wii U box. And then over here we have some NES games such as like Adventure Island 2, Athena, Battle of Olympus, Commandos, and then this baby blue cartridge here is my only Color Dreams game, which is Crystal Mines. Then there's Dragon Warrior, Faxanadu, Final Fantasy, and then there's Friday the 13th, then there's Gauntlet on the Tengen, then there's Golo 13 with the manual, Guardian Legend, which the label's busted, but that's okay. I know what it is, but I'll fix it eventually. Then there's Kid Icarus, King's Knight, Kirby's Adventure, Kung Fu, the 3 Mario games, can't go wrong with those. Legacy of the Wizard, Lolo, my only Mega Man game, which is Mega Man 3, Ninja Gaiden 2, Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, Rescue Rangers like Chip and Dale Monk, and Rygar, and there's Section Z, so Solomon's Key is right there. And then over here we have Star Tropics, Super C, the 2 Wizards and Warriors game. I don't have the 3rd one yet. Willow, and then there's the Zelda game that I have, Zelda 2. I don't have the 1st one yet. Haven't been able to get it. And then over here we have the Super Nintendo, which there is quite a few in here. And there is the 7th Saga, then there's Super Adventure Island, which is, I have put it with the A section because, you know, I don't want to put everything with Super, because then, like, everything would be at, like, one end. Then there's Arcana, which is a very underrated RPG. Then there's Batman Returns, Super Castlevania 4, all 3 Donkey Kong Country games, because those fucking are awesome. Then there's, F-Zero. Then there's my only black cartridge game, which is Killer Instinct. Then there is Super Mario games. I have a lot of them. I know I have Super Mario RPG, which is awesome. Then there's my one ROM hack game, which is Super Mario Return to Dinosaur Island. That one's pretty cool. Then there's Mortal Kombat 3, Prince of Persia. Then there's Spawn, which a lot of people hate on that game, but I think it's okay. And then there's my only red card game, which is Maximum Carnage. Then there's Star Fox, the Star Wars games. I have the first 2. And then there's Street Fighter 2, the original one. Then there's my original Zelda game, Link to the Past, which is my favorite game. And then there's Zombies Ate My Neighbor, which is a fucking awesome game. Then over here we have my amiibo stuff. I only have very little right now because I just started getting some of them. Like there's Link, there's Mario, there's Samus, and then there's Kirby. Now I could make a whole video talking about amiibos and stuff, but I'll save that for another time. And I'm also pretty sure there's probably someone who's probably going to bitch and complain to me saying how I took them out of the boxes. But I'll get to that when I can. Okay, so right here we have the N64 games. I'm sure you can take a guess what the colored cartridge are, but you know, it just sucks I don't have end labels, so it's hard to read through them all, and it would take forever. But maybe someday I might do a video going over the N64 stuff. Then over here is the boxes, and these I can actually go through, such as there's Idean Chronicles, Hexen, Turok 2, and the 2 Zelda games, which are awesome. But yeah, I'm pretty happy to have those in the original boxes, even though I'd prefer to get repo boxes. Then over here is my one, like, little, fucking, what's it called, the adapter thing that I found in the box. I don't know, I wanted to keep that for whatever reason. Then over here on this shelf, we have an empty one here, which will be filled up eventually, but, you know, it takes time. And then over here is, my regular Xbox games, and I haven't really got any newer ones because most of the games I want for the system, I don't see them very often, but the ones I do have are actually probably like one of the better games you can get for them, such as Dead or Alive, Half-Life, Halo 1 and 2, and the Nightmare Before Christmas game, and there is a couple other games I do want to get for the system, but I hardly ever see them, but we'll get there eventually though. But for the most part, I thought the system was good. It's not, just compared to like all the other stuff I have, it's just not my favorite. And then down over here, we have the GameCube stuff, like there's Eternal Darkness, F-Zero, Geist, Harvest Moon, Magical Melodies, Killer 7, pretty much most of the Mario games. I'm only missing like a couple of the party ones. Then there's Metal Gear Solid, the Twin Snakes, both Metroids, Odama, which is a hidden gem, Piano 3, Resident Evil 0, then there's, like the Sonic games, which are, some of them are actually pretty good. I mean, I know they get a lot of hate though, but there's some that are pretty good. Although I can understand the hate for Shadow the Hedgehog though, but as for the rest of them though, yeah, it's just really opinionated though. And then there's Soul Calibur 2, which is like my favorite version of it, not just because of Link, but even like the controls for it worked really well, I found. And then there's Super Smash Bros, can't go wrong with that, and then with Star Fox Assault, which I missed out, well, I missed, like, going by it, and then there's, all 3 of my Zelda games, which are awesome. And then this right here is the disc that play, Game Boy Advance games. I usually leave it down there because it always falls over. Then over here, we have a box of, it's a gun. It's a Judge Dredd super light gun for This thing can actually be played on a PS1 or a Sega Saturn, it says right there, which is pretty cool, but I haven't actually tested it out yet because, one, I don't have a game that can work with this, and two, the foot pedal is missing, which kind of sucks, but I found this at a yard sale like a couple of years ago, and I thought it was really cool to pick it up, just in case. Then down here we have like the Wii and Wii U games, and so over here we have Fire Emblem, which is like which is getting pretty expensive lately, which is kind of crazy to think about. Then there's The Last Story, awesome game, Mario Kart Wii. Then there's Super Mario Galaxy, Super Paper Mario, Pandora's Tower. Then there's Red Steel 1 and 2, but the first one is missing the cover for some reason. Then there's Valhalla Knights, Xenoblade Chronicles, which is another game that's been, you know, it's pretty expensive. And then there's Zelda, Skyward Sword. And then over there is, like, the two ones in between here are those, like, one of them new Super Mario Bros. And, Link's Crossbow Training. I don't know what happened to my, Wii Sports, but I'll find that out eventually. Then there's the Wii U games, and this, we have, Assassin's Creed 4, new Super Mario Bros. U, then there's the Luigi one, then there's, Mario Kart 8, which is awesome. Then there's Resident Evil Revelations, which is really good. I actually really like that Resident Evil game a lot, considering that whatever happened to 5 and 6. Then there's Sonic All-Stars Racing. Then Sonic Lost World, which is pretty good. Then there's Super Smash Bros. For Wii U, which is amazing. Then there's Warriors Orochi 3, which a lot of people said this version of it sucked, but I actually really like it. I think it is somewhat better than the PS3 version in certain ways, but I can get over that in another video though. And then there's Hyrule Warriors, which kicks tons of ass, and then there's Wind Waker HD. And in case you're wondering why this thing is like this, it's because a lot of the times my Wii U games always keep on falling over, which sucks. So what I do is that I have that over just until I get enough to reach over to the end. And then over here we have the PS1 games, and this shelf is actually almost full. I may need to fix this up eventually. But anyways, we have the long box games over here, like King's Field and Metal Gear Solid, and then there's that bike racing game. Then over here we have a couple of random stuff, like the Atari Anniversary, then the Bloody Roar, then there's the Deception series, my favorite games out of this, at least most of them. And then there's Dino Crisis, and then there's the first Dynasty Warrior game. Then there's all the Final Fantasy games, and I have 7, 8, 9, and Anthology, and Chronicles, and Tactics, so I think I have most of them. And then there's Jade Cocoon, which is sweet, and there's Legend of Dragoon, the Legend of Dragoon. And then there's Medieval 2, Monster Rancher Battle Card Episode 2. Then there's Battle Ogre's March of the Black Queen, which is a pretty expensive game. At least I paid quite a lot for it. I paid like $70 for it. Then there's Puzzle Star Sweep, which is pretty random. Then there's Resident Evil 2, Parasite Eve, Shadow Madness, and then there's Silhouette Mirage, a pretty hidden gem. And then there's Tomba 2, which is pretty random that I have that. And then Soul Blade, which is Greatest Hits, but that's okay. Then there's, yeah, you may think it's weird, but the only Twisted Metal game I have is number 4, and that one a lot of people just say it's terrible, but I think it was okay. It was actually the second Twisted Metal game I ever played, so you know, what would you expect? Then down here we have the 3DO, which, you know, there's the box for it. And then nothing new over here since last time, I know that for a fact, because I haven't found any good 3DO games lately. Kinda sucks, because the system's actually pretty good. It's just unfortunate that, you know, they do have a lot of those really fucked up games, and I do happen to have some of them, such as Station Invasion. That game's fucking weird as shit. But there are some pretty cool games, like Out of This World is pretty cool, and Phoenix 3, and Super Wing Commander, and unfortunately I haven't been able to find a loose disc of Immercenary because my version of it doesn't work. And then that makes everything on this shelf over here. I know I didn't really talk a lot about certain systems, but you know how I think about them. They're all awesome in their own ways. And then we'll go over here. Okay, so let's just walk over here, and yeah, this is pretty much where like my PS3 and PS2 and handheld stuff are. And up here we got like the limited edition boxes, like there's the fuck, I forget the name of it there, and I can never fucking pronounce it right, but it's that one fucking NES, not NES, but NIS game. Wow, I'm getting tongue-tied a lot here. Then there's the classic edition for the first Neptunia game, Last Story. Then there's that disgrace of a thing called the Super Mario 25th Anniversary, which is just Super Mario All-Stars on a disc. Yeah, no, pretty disappointing. And then there's the Sub-Zero thing for Mortal Kombat Deception. Then there's that new Vita game I got. And then there is Tales of Exilia, Project Cross Zone, Persona Q, and Soul Hackers. And then over there is the helmet for Killzone 3, which is pretty cool. And then over there are some board games that I made when I was a kid. I may have to look at those at some point, because they'll probably be laughably bad and funny. And then over here is the start of the PS3 section, so there's 3D Dot Game Heroes, Oculus Strip, Alice Madness Returns, the two Art Tonelico games, such as like Arno Surge and Art Tonelico Quoga. Then there's the Assassin's Creed games, and then there's Atelier Totori, yeah, that was the special edition game. And then there's Battlefield Bad Companies, which is really good. The third one kind of sucked, by the way. And then there's Bayonetta, then there's Blaze Blue, then there's Call of Duty stuff, which, you know, I'll be quite honest with you, I used to like those games quite a bit before, but now they're just kind of like whatever. And then there's Catherine, which is a sweet game. Then there's Deception 4, one of my favorite games that came out in 2014. And then there's Demon's Souls, the classic edition for DSX. Then there's Devil May Cry 4 in an alternate case. And then there's Disgaea 4 Dishonored, which is awesome. Dragon's Crown, Dragon Guard 3, my Dynasty Warrior collection stuff. And then there's the Gundam Dynasty Warrior stuff. And then there's like Elder Scrolls, and there's Fairy Fencer F, which rocks, by the way. And there's Fallout, and then there's Far Cry 2, then there's that stupid Final Fantasy 13. Then there's the Fist of the North Star game, which I love. Then there's Guitar Hero stuff, which, you know, I'll be quite honest with you, I do kind of like the Guitar Hero stuff, except for number 5 in Heroes of Rock, or whatever the fuck. Yeah, I didn't really like those ones that much. But their soundtracks were good. Then there's the Hatsune Miku stuff, which is pretty fucking random, but, you know, I already talked about that already. Then there's Neptunia games. Number 2 and 3 are really good, but the first one isn't that great. I just want to let you guys know about that. Then there's Katamari Forever, which rocks. Then there's Killzone 3. Then there's Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Then there's Metal Gear Solid HD and 4 and Rising, which I just got. Then there's Never Dead, which is a game I think is actually not too bad, even though it is a little bit weird, but it is, like, okay. I don't think it's as bad as a lot of people say. And then there's Ni no Kuni, which is really good. I just kind of got stuck in it somewhere. And then there's the Persona Arena games. And then there's PlayStation All-Stars. And then there's, like, Rock Band and stuff. You know, I like those kind of things. And then there's Sengoku Basara Samurai Heroes. That game's actually pretty damn awesome. Then there's Soul Calibur 4 and 5, which were kind of disappointing, but whatever. And then there's the Tales of games like Graces F and Exilia, which are also awesome. And then there's like Uncharted, and then Yakuza. Yeah, I pretty much have over 100 PS3 games, even though I didn't name all of them exactly, but, you know, I just named which ones I wanted to. But still, I'm actually very happy I have that many, though. Then down here, we have some PS2 stuff, like Art Tonelico 1 and 2, which are some of my favorites on that system. And then there's Chaos Legion, Clock Tower 3, Crimson Sea 2, Devil King, Devil May Cry, all 3. And then there's the Dragon Ball Z games, which are really cool. Dragon Guard 2, Dynasty Warriors stuff, as again. Then there's like, I think I have all the Final Fantasy games on PS2, but I think I might be missing one, but I'm not sure. And then there's the .hack games. I only have Volume 1 and 2, but I'm missing 3. But I'm trying my hardest to get it, but it's hard. But still, those games are fucking awesome. And then there's Hitman games. I have all of them, even the newer one. And then there's King of Fighters 2006, Kingdom Hearts, which unfortunately that game stopped working on me, which sucks. And then there's Mega Man X, Command Mission, and then there's Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3. Then there's some Mobile Suit Gundam games. Then there's I think I have all the Mortal Kombat games except for one on PS2. And then there's Odin Sphere, which is an amazing game. Then there's Onimusha 1 and 2. I don't have 3 yet. And then there's Resident Evil 4, Code Veronica, and then Outbreak 2. And then there's Samurai Warriors, Shadow of the Colossus. I have the HD version of that too. Then there's Silent Hill 3. Then there's Shin Megami Tensei stuff like Digital Devil Saga, Nocturne, Persona 3 and 4, which are amazing. Then there's Simpsons Hit and Run, awesome game. Soul Calibur 3, awesome. Then there's Sudoku Tactics, which is pretty cool. I have the first one as well, like the very first game. And then there's Tekken 5, Tenchu, Wrath of Heaven, Trapped, one of my favorite PS2 games as well. Twisted Metal Black, another one of my favorites on the system. Urban Chaos is pretty cool. Xenosaga, I really like 2 and I really like 3. I haven't played 2 yet, but I can get more into that later because I know that sounds really confusing. And then there's Yakuza 2 and the Yu-Gi-Oh games, which I do like quite a bit. And then down here we have a box full of like random stuff. Then there's some games that a friend of mine left me here for some reason, mostly Wii games and PS2 games and one PS3 game. Then we have that PS3 that I randomly found in the forest, but it doesn't work. But you know, that's pretty cool. And then there's my 3DS with my Scribblenauts cover, and then that's my Vita right here. I don't know if you can see it, but I can't see it through my camera. And then in that box is that Super Nintendo portable thing. And then right over here is some sides, which are pretty fucking cool. My dad gave me these for Christmas one year. Haven't hung them up yet though. And then in that box is some more handheld stuff, but you know, I can get into that another day. And then down here we have some cords and some broken stuff, but you know, the cords work fine though. Okay, so then now we have like the handheld stuff, like there's Chrono Trigger on the DS, which is amazing. Then there's Final Fantasy IV. Then there's Pokemon and Mario stuff as usual. And then there's Zelda Phantom Hourglass, which isn't too bad. It takes time to get used to. Yes, we got all those regular DS games. I don't really have a lot, unfortunately, but that's okay. Then there's some 3DS games such as Bravely Default, Fire Emblem Awakening. Then there's Kid Icarus, Mario Kart 7, Mario Kart Tennis, or not Mario Kart Tennis, but Mario Tennis. And then there's Monster Hunter 3, which I just got not too long ago. And then there's Persona Q, fucking amazing game. Then there's Pokemon Omega Ruby, and then there's Zelda Ocarina of Time and such. Yeah, I already talked about some of the Collector's Edition stuff. And then I still have my original box for the 3DS as well. Haven't got around to upgrading it to an XL, but I'll get there. Then there's some Game Boy stuff. The only Game Boy game I still have in the box and everything is Final Fantasy Legends 2, which is awesome. And then there's some other stuff, but you know, I'm not really going to get into it all that much. But I'm sure you can tell what the colored ones are. And then, of course, there's Donkey Kong Land 3, but you know, it's all that. Then there's the box of pins that came with Mario Kart 7, then with some Game Boy Advance in the back. I don't have a lot of those either. And then there's like the AR cards, and then there's the original case for the Game Boy. And then down here we got PSP and Vita stuff. I know I hardly have any PSP stuff, and then Vita, well, I just got the system, so you know, obviously I'm not gonna have a lot, but you know, it's gonna be something that's gonna be growing within the years. And then over here is N64 controllers. I have a lot, and there's reasons why I have a lot, because, you know, like, the fucking knob thing is kind of shitty, but everything else about it I don't mind. The shape of it's weird, but, you know, I've already covered that in one of my videos. Then down here we have some Yu-Gi-Oh! Tins. Then over there we have some more controllers and random accessories. I can see, like, the orange NES Zapper. Then there's just blankets and stuff, and then over there is some stuff that my friend left for me. So, you know, nothing... well, I mean, there's some pretty good stuff down there, but, you know... But nothing, like, down over there that you guys probably care about. Then up here we have some board games, which are pretty cool. It's kind of a mess up there, but I have nowhere else to put them. Then down over here we have some books, a lot of comic books, and then some books from my growing childhood, and then there's the Zelda Historia. Then there's that one book over here, I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's Ready Player One, which is really interesting. And then down here we have a shit ton of Nintendo Power magazines. Most of them are from the GameCube and late N64 and Wii section mostly, but still. Then there's some yearbooks and some DVDs. Like over there, I think you can see Bubblegum Crisis, which is pretty good. Then over there we have Giratina, which is kind of in a messed up shape. Then down here we have the box for Killzone 3, which I have nowhere to put that. Then I have some extra doubles of games, like there's GoldenEye is over there because I have a second one. Same with Mario Paint and the original Duck Hunt, and then there's my original Tecmo's Deception, and then there's Trapped. Yeah, I found another version of Trapped, by the way, so that my old one's over there. Then there's the Zelda manual and stuff. I'll probably be giving those away to someone, but I don't know who. Then over here is my CD collection, which is kind of a mess because this thing is kind of shitty, but I will want to go through this again. And then for some reason I have two random albums up here, like this one is King Crimson, which I really love that album art. I wish I had that as a t-shirt or something. And then there's Led Zeppelin 3, pretty good stuff. And then there's the Rock Band guitars and stuff. I have them hang up onto there because nowhere else to put them, and they take up a lot of room. I'm thinking about getting rid of some of them, but you know, for the most part I am going to keep like the ones that do work well. And then over here, I'll finally get to sit down, we have the TV, which is pretty good. Sometimes it turns green randomly, but it doesn't do that often, but when it does I just leave it alone for a bit. And then there's the Switch box, which is very useful because I just have it so it's like video 1 is N64, video 2 Saturn, video 3 the device itself, and then channel 3 is the NES, and then, you know, instead of using these plastic things like it says PS2, DVD, CD, and Dreamcast, instead I just made my own labels. Pretty easy to follow, makes things easier for me. But yeah, this TV is pretty good despite what I said. Then there's my GameCube with my stickers on it, which I've looked through already. Then there's my top loader NES, which rocks. Then there's the Super Nintendo, which is still my original. It still looks like in good shape too. Then there's some memory cards, my blue N64, Ice I believe it's called. Then there's my Saturn, which is a Model 1 I think, could be wrong. Because there's two models that look very similar, just the buttons are different. And then there's Dreamcast, which is really cool. Then there's a TurboGrafx 16, which I found. I still haven't found the cords for it yet, so I don't even know if it works. I don't have any games either, or else you would have seen them already. But I really hope I can get that thing to work. That'd be fucking great. And then there's my PS1, which still works great. And then there's some controllers and stuff. Very disorganized down there, but, you know, at least it's down there and it's easy to do. Then over here we have some random art, like there's Van Gogh, and then there's this one of a dragon. It's still the same stuff, it looks fucking rad. Then there's my flat screen TV, well one of them, it's a small Emerson, it actually works really nice. Then there's a switch box in the back, I don't know if you can see it. And then there's a Nintendo Wii on its side, then there's a PS2, a fat one. I like the fat ones better because I went through 3 Slims and they all fucking suck. And then there's some controllers and accessories, especially the Wii has a shit ton of accessories. And then there's my 3DO, which is a Model 2. And then there's my crystal clear Xbox. Then there's an elephant carrying a clean Xbox. I don't know why, but it's just there. But yeah, this thing is pretty fucking, like, good setup, though. I really like this setup. And then over here is my desk of things. Like, up there we have the Bionicles, which are really cool. And then over here we have some random stuff, like I got a new microphone. Then over here is the Persona tarot cards that I got. And then there's some random figurines, like there's Lugia, Ho-Ho, and then there's Luigi, and you know, the Pink Floyd discography, which is in the back, which has every single Pink Floyd album. Then there's a Triforce, then there's a Wizard guy. There's actually three Wizard guys, but one of them is, actually no, there's like four, if you want to count, the Black Mage. And all that type of stuff. There's that holographic card. So yeah, it's kind of a mess, but you know, it's just neat to look at. So yeah, that's all the stuff over there. Also, that's my old microphone that I usually use in my videos, but yeah, as you can tell, I got a new one, but I haven't tested it out yet. Then there's my computer. Still the same one, haven't really done much with it yet, because, well, upgrading a computer is expensive, and I don't want to get into any of that shit right away, so we'll get that whenever we can. Then over here we have some more random stuff, such as like my pens and pencils and papers and stuff. And then of course there's my HD capture card, which I use for anything with a like component or HDMI cable, which works very good. Never had any issues with it myself. And then there's some PC games over here. These are like the smaller case games, like there's Alone in the Dark, Carmageddon, Dark Seed, Diablo 1 and 2, then there's Dragon Lord, The Elder Scrolls Morrowind, Codename 47, Quake, Roller Coaster Tycoon, Sonic 3D Blast, Sonic R, and then some random other things. Oh, and then there's Wolfenstein. Yeah, like, I'm not gonna name all of them, because not all of them have labels at the end of them. Then there's, up here, there's Call of Duty 1, Sonic Schoolhouse, which is fucking random. Then there's Descent 1 and 2, Siberia, Riven, the sequel to Myst, and DSX. In fact, they actually remade Siberia on the PSN store, which is pretty cool. And then up here, there is boxed PC games, which is pretty cool. I always like the box games. Like, first we have Battlefield 2, Empire Earth 2, then there's one of my Sims 3 add-ons, but I lent out my Sims 3 game because I wasn't really playing it. And then there's Grand Theft Auto 4, Two Worlds 2, oh no, not Two Worlds 2, Two Worlds, and there's Age of Empires 3, Enter the Matrix, and there's a custom pack, Gothic, Lost Planet 1, Black and White 2, No One Lives Forever 2, and then up here where there's that stupid pony game I randomly found. A friend of mine wants me to do a video on it, but I don't know if I want to. I don't know, it's kind of some fucked up fuckery right there. Then there's King's Quest, then there's StarCraft, the first one, then there's Rainbow Six, like the original, then there's Star Trail, I think it is. I think the axe is supposed to represent a T. But yeah, that's actually a floppy disk game I found for like $2 once. I think it's pretty hard to come by, but it has everything in it though, which is neat. There's Roller Coaster Tycoon, and then there's Quake 3, and Battle Arena Toshina 2. But yeah, I actually really do like my box PC games. It's unfortunate there's some games I can't play because my computer acts like really stupid with that kind of thing. Then there's a glass dragon right here, which is pretty sweet. Then over here is some like random figures and stuff, and then of course there is what's that digital one's name? Galletmon, which is awesome. Yeah, I forgot for a second. And then there's the good old couch, which you're used to seeing in my videos. Well, some of my videos anyway. Then there's my flat screen TV, like the bigger one, which is an RCA. It actually works very well. And then over here we have some more game systems, like my PS3 with some of its controllers. And then there's my Wii U, which, you know, there's a tablet right there. And then there's the external hard drive, which I just got for Christmas. Then there's my Sega Genesis, because I have nowhere else to put that thing, and it actually doesn't look too bad on the flat screen, surprisingly. At least I don't think it looks too bad. I mean, it's better using that than having my NES hooked up onto it. Then it looks fucking terrible. And I have a big space between here, because just in case I ever get a newer system, it's gonna go in between there. And then there's some more accessories, and then down here, there's more controllers, like there's regular Xbox and Genesis. And the Genesis one is right there. And then in here, there's like a clusterfuck of like a lot of shit. Like a lot of it is like random accessories for Rock Band and stuff. But there are some random cables and all that. Yeah, it's a mess in there. And then there's this little duck thing which holds remotes, and the remote for the TV on the RCA is this. And by the way, this is like the worst controller ever. 'Cause, like, I mean, it looks standard, but here's the thing: to change the channel, like if you want to switch from like HDMI 1, 2, or 3 or component or AV or whatever, you have to press source. Now that's okay. Then move up and down, and with these it's just fine, but you don't press the center button. The center button is menu, which takes it out of everything. So the enter button is like right there. So you pretty much have to go like that, and then that. It's just fucked up. They should have made the enter button in the center. Either way, that's just a little stupid rant I wanted to do. But yeah, that's pretty much the entire room, as you can see. Like, I'm actually pretty happy with the way how it's going and stuff, and then over there's like my bedroom and whatever. May have to do a video on that at some point, but not right now though, because my bedroom is very different. I mean, there's a lot of posters and stuff, which is why I do want to do a video on that, but either way though, like, yeah, I'm very happy with everything I got. I know this room may not, like, blow your mind with everything, but you know, that's not the point. The point of this video is just to show you just all the stuff I've been coming from all the way back when I started my channel to now, and this to see how well it's growing, and you know what, I like that. And of course, I buy games that I like. I don't buy, like, games that are, like, really shitty and stupid, unless, of course, if it's related to something I like. So anyways, I really hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching and commenting and all that great stuff. I hope you all had a happy new year.